digital. It is the Power Breakfast Show fullcasted this morning. We just did from Paul Richards with our news brief. We'll hear from Wendell Stephen, who's not watching cricket anymore. We got Ruben in the background. We got Richard Ragbar saying, did I say that? Yep. And then myself, Steve Khan, keep you company until 9 o'clock this morning. Let's get straight into it. Let's see what's happening on the highways and on the byways. I got nothing really to tell you about. Nothing. Except there is an accident northbound by Chase Village on the Solo, just before you get pretty much by Carlson Field there. Yeah, it's northbound, and that is creating some traffic as you head up from Freeport on the Solo as you head northbound. Nothing in San Fernando to tell you about, nothing in the east-west corridor. Nothing at all. All right? But let's get straight into the meat of the matter. Let's see what's happening weather-wise. It is 25 degrees at Piarco International Airport. Same in our beautiful sister Isle of Tobago, which I believe sunk this weekend. The amount of people, you couldn't get a flight across or ferry across the Tobago, but they say sunshine will likely be interrupted at times by showers over a few areas, especially during the afternoon. There's also a low to medium 30 to 40% chance of the isolated shower. All right, checking some temps. Let's see what across the planet is looking like. Toronto, you're 15. Miami, 26. Orlando, 24. New York, 17 and sunny. Atlanta, you're 22. 18 in London and cloudy. Tampa, 26. Washington, D.C., you're at 18 degrees. All right? All right. So there you go. Weather and traffic. WTs. Good morning to you, Paul Richards. What's happening? You're muted. There you go.
Morning. Good morning, everyone.
Morning, Paul. How you doing?
Better than Donald Trump.
Yeah, I saw that this morning. I didn't really check it out. Oops, I'm getting buff here that we didn't say hellos to people on the World Wide Web. So good morning to you, Maria Marva, DJ Ray out in Delaware, Celia in Valencia, Miss Ingrid in Tucson, Arizona, Oliver Man Warren, good morning, Carol Guevara, Wakwan, CJ New York, have a fantastic day yourself, Ms. Maloney Dudu, good morning, Doreen Pierre on YouTube, Mike Black, Ray, good morning to you, Ray. Hope you have a great day. All right, yes. So, yeah, I heard something about Donald Trump, and he has to go to court today or tomorrow and something like that.
Well, Donald Trump has become the first U.S. president to be indicted for allegedly breaking several laws in his attempts to overturn the 2020 election result. They have also named 4 or 5 co-conspirators, including former New York Mayor Rudy Giuliani. They said Trump was determined to remain in power after losing the 2020 election. He and 6 unindicted co-conspirators orchestrated a plot to overturn the results leading up to the January 6th, 2021 run on Congress. So,
that's it.
We see how this goes. Morning, Wendell.
Morning, Paul. Morning, Steve. And good morning, Trinidad and Tobago and listeners and viewers all over the globe. It's August 2nd. We didn't get to say rabbit yesterday, so we could just say one rabbit today. So, Good morning.
I'll tell you, folks. Wendell sent us a picture on our group and said, "Free rum when West Indies win." They won. When it was, today's what? Monday, Sunday, whenever day it was. Saturday. We went by Wendell and lock up tight. And we saw him peeping through the curtains.
He got free rum for those who came first.
Well, we had to drive there. But then, oh boy, did they get caught yesterday.
Lord. I didn't follow the cricket. I just watched a little bit of it because I really didn't find it prudent to have a West Indies versus India cricket match in Trinidad and Tobago on an emancipation holiday. So I didn't support the match. I didn't support that match at all. So I actually mentioned that to someone and they agreed with me. They said, but we allowed it. I say, yeah, we did, but it should not have happened. It should not have happened on a holiday like that because it almost borders on promoting a sort of divisive crowd because you want everybody to participate in the Emancipation Day holiday. You understand? But when you put a match like West Indies, India, somewhere down in South, what do you think you're going to happen? You know what I mean? And so said, so done. But that's my personal view. You don't have to agree with it. People don't have to agree with it. You know, holidays are good days to have cricket matches here because we tend to support it. But again, as I say, on a particular holiday like yesterday, it's not something I would have done. You know? But it all went well. Of course, West Indies, I think at one point in time, they were threatening to make less than 60, 70. Because when I glimpsed at the score, I think I saw 40 for 5 or 40 for 6 or something. So
something like that.
I say, oh, okay.
The West Indies need to come off the international circuit. They're such an embarrassment.
To just play gutless, spineless cricket now. That's what, you know. And when they win is when they really put their heads down and play good cricket. In other words, the side didn't play bad for them to win. They actually played better than the other side. You understand? But when we lost, oh my dear Lord. At least when we lose, it's terrible, terrible, terrible cricket. Gutless, spineless. I don't know what else, the descriptive word to use to describe the cricket, the type of performance they put in sometimes, you know. But anyway, I think there's another match on tomorrow. I'll probably try to get down to the Branara Stadium tomorrow. But I started
Isn't it heading to Ghana now?
There's another match at the Branara Stadium tomorrow. Not so?
Oh, okay. I'll have to check.
I think so. Yeah.
I know Guyana and then Florida, Broward County in Florida.
Yeah, well, the T20s start now. I think the first T20 is here tomorrow. I think. Somebody's going to send a message and correct me.
Let me check. Yeah.
But I started playing cricket too. Our cricket started at the Queen's Park Oval over the holiday period. Monday night was our first game. I played with Seaboard Marine. We played short, but we didn't win, but we did a pretty credible performance. You know, I was surprised I didn't lose form at all in all those years that I didn't play cricket. I didn't lose form, so I came out as one of the successful batsmen on that night. A crack.
You ain't batting nothing else, so you might as well about cricket.
You say that with such confidence.
Batting nothing else. You might as well say anybody cricket for you.
You say that with such confidence.
Oh yeah, we do. It's a T20 at Brian Lara Stadium on Thursday. That's tomorrow.
Right. So there is a T20
I mean, it's
match.
starting at 10:30 in the morning.
Is that early? It's starting?
That's what I see in here.
You sure?
That's what I'm seeing here. All the T20s start at 10:30 in the morning.
So they all daytime
in
matches.
Florida.
All right. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Yesterday, of course, there was a cocktail reception for His Royal Majesty at Hilton Garden Inn. Hilton, what am I saying? Hilton cocktail area. Right? I don't even know what they call it. I haven't been there so long, you know. But it was very well attended. You know? And of course, the parade seemed to have been a big success. I didn't go to the parade for two reasons. One, I was tired from cricket. But I got up, you know when electricity goes, like if you're in your sleep, right? And you're sleeping in a room with air conditioning and so on, right? And electricity goes whilst you're asleep. You know what wakes you up? The heat. And I just felt this heat, and I was hearing this beeping noise, which is the the UPS making this sound because,
The
of
beep,
course,
beep.
that it stores some electricity, stores some current before it starts to fade, right? And I'm hearing this noise, and I see the place pitch black, because normally you would see the light from the UPS or the light from the computer or something on. And I said 4 o'clock in the morning, and that electricity didn't come back until 8 o'clock.
And then you ain't accustomed to know the heat in their room, so
But that scuttled all my plans. Any heat in this room, I created myself. I don't get the natural heat. Anything to create any heat in this room,
well, you know you feel heat in their room, you know it's the AC gone. You can't know the heat in their room.
That's what I said. I create the heat myself. But so that's how I didn't end up going, because you can't iron no clothes, you can't shower, the gates don't work unless you go and struggle and put them on manual. You understand? So I say, see this? Let me just, and I can't watch TV. I couldn't even watch the thing until eventually when it came back.
You're too modernized. You can't take a shower if it have no electricity. So you know water without the pumps?
No, I wouldn't get water upstairs. I'd probably have to go downstairs in the yard and bathe in cold water, which I ain't doing.
If electricity go for some days, you have some problems.
I will have problems. I will.
No, you go somewhere else.
I will. Most definitely go somewhere
else. You will visit her place.
I will visit St. James, which is my only other option. I actually have two other options, but they might also have
DP has showers and things, so you can use your card.
Who is that? Oh.
DP has showers. I hear.
I didn't know that. Thanks for telling us.
Oh, bro, come on. You have all that and no shower yourself. Really?
The last time I went in one,
you have to leave them in barrens in that condition? No, man.
The last time I went in one of those places was so long ago. All they had was a sink, you know.
Nah, well, that got to work sometimes too, cowboy. Anyway, so the big news around the world is Donald Trump has been indicted.
So I didn't see that trending though.
Yeah, big news. And the indictment indicates that he broke several laws in his attempts to overturn the 2020 election, with a grand jury indictment returned on yesterday. That I got the indictment sentence round. Prosecutors said the new charging document, Trump was determined to remain in power after losing in 2020. He had 6 unindicted co-conspirators named. Right, he faces 4 counts, including accused of conspiring to defraud the United States, the whole country, and obstruct an official proceeding. A latter charge that already successfully been brought against rioters who breached the Capitol. Remember, some of them get jail and thing already.
Yeah. A good bit.
So, another charge brought against the former president, relying on reconstruction of civil rights law that prohibits conspiracies to deprive the persons of their rights. In this case, the right to vote and the right to have one's vote counted. Because if you stop the official counting of those and process, it means you're depriving everybody else in the US who voted. Of their vote to be counted. Oh yeah. I want to say this is going to be a very, very interesting case. Very interesting case. Well, the amount of things he faced,
Yes.
Let me tell you. He and Giuliani is among the 6 alleged co-conspirators. This is going to be a very, very interesting test case in U.S. courts.
Imagine after all that success as a businessman, you were successful.
Well, I don't know how successful he was as a businessman, because all his billionaire claims were proved to be false.
So, but let me finish what I was saying. Imagine all that success as a businessman, because Giuliani also, right? All that riches, billions of dollars pass through your hands, right? You own all this property and all kind of thing. You successfully convinced the American public after 8 years of Barack Obama to elect you as president. You were successful in that. Okay? You knew that you didn't deserve even the Republican nominee, but you got it, right? After people thought you were joking, you got it. And guess what? You beat somebody like Hillary Clinton at the polls for presidency, right?
Which says a
And
lot about her.
And that's how you end? You end like that at what?
You're
Almost 80?
always going to end in ignominy.
Oh, dear Lord, no. 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 He must be. I wonder how he feels.
I think he's so delusional. He likes all of this in some strange, perverted way. He's a strange sort, you know. He's not, his psychology is not like everybody else, you know.
I agree.
I think he's a kind of psychopath. So when he puts something in his head, whether it's true or not, he believes it. So he in some strange way, he probably believes he was robbed in 2020, and because his psychology doesn't allow him to accept defeat or failure in it, because he lies so much, he doesn't know what is fact and fiction compared to the rest of us.
Yeah.
So, yes, I don't think he processes it like how we would process it. And I think, I mean, I see the daughter is now kind of separating herself. The son's still going hard, supporting him. The daughter is calling herself Kushner now, as opposed to Trump Kushner. You understand? Right. Which means she realizes, you see that name going to have some trouble down the road. You understand?
Yeah.
But he's a different kind of psychology. He is a great psychology test case. Clearly. But we see how it goes. Did you all see what's happening in China?
The flooding?
Where the bears in captivity are now mimicking humans so much that they thought, I'll play a video just now, people thought that the zoo in China, one of the largest zoos in China, had been fooling people by putting human beings in bear costumes in the cages, because the bears are standing like humans now.
Right.
And waving. But if you look at it from one of the back views, it actually looks like it could be a human in a costume until the bear sits down and you realize there's a bear in truth. But the bears are now mimicking humans so closely that they're standing. Take a look.
It's China we're talking about, you know.
Look how that bear standing up.
No, man, that bear reminds me of somebody.
No, but is that a normal stance for a bear?
No. But look at the feet also.
Look at the feet. That's a human.
No, it's a bear. It's actually a bear.
That was a bear?
That is a bear. It's actually a bear. But it's standing so much like a human that the same concerns you have are what people have. There's another video I'll try to get where it actually sits down without being edited in the frame. And you know it's a bear. That's a bear. It's actually a bear. But it's standing so much like a human that people are getting confused. It's a bear.
The feet is what look funny to me.
Yeah. I don't know how close you've gotten to bear feet, but...
Yeah.
But actually,
but I'll take your word for it.
Oh, take that one there, Paul. Take that one there, Paul.
Yeah.
I'll try to get the other video. For the other videos of it from the back view, from a back camera, where it sits down after doing that. And it's a bear, but it's standing so much like a human, it confuses everybody.
Wow.
Because it's just mimicking what it's seeing people around, you understand, since it's born, you know? You know, so it's very, you know, the poor animals are changing their behaviors.
Yeah, it's standing up like you know those meerkats.
Yeah,
that's how it looks, like a meerkat.
Yeah, well,
wow,
that's your area of expertise. So.
Yeah. But speaking of China and Beijing, there's heavy rainfall, and roads turn to rivers. 2 people have already been killed with flooding. So they get in some serious, if it's not rain in one part,
they're doing a presidential wave, you know.
And waving too, the bear waving.
It's doing a presidential wave.
The bear's waving.
Wow.
Are you destroying the poor animals or the humans?
What else is happening internationally?
Well, there's a coup in...
Is it Niger?
Is it Niger?
I think it's
I saw a video of a minister of finance being told that if he do account for all the money going in, the billions gone, he was going to be executed.
Poor fella cry for so.
Yeah, had a cry.
I saw that. Pressure after pressure.
Well, right, I found the other video.
Mm.
It's give me a chance to load it up. But it is it is the weirdest thing with this poor animal.
Mm.
And they have to put out a release saying this is not a human. It actually looks like it's a suit intruder. Right, this is the one I wanted. The one where it sits down. Right. Give me a second. Let me do my
All right. Let's say good
my
morning.
magic.
Going to Orande, Timothy, Brenda Isaac, Hazim Mohammed, Rena Boodoo Jennings, Ambrose Blah out in New York. Good morning to you. Ingrid Adams, locked on in Brooklyn. Good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us on the Power Breakfast Show on Power 102 Digital as we stream on YouTube every weekday morning from 6 to 8 a.m. Good morning to H.S. Wilson, sorry. Good morning to H.S. Wilson. Just popped in.
I attended the Pan-African Trade conference on Monday afternoon. And I have to tell you, it was a pretty good conference overall because there was a presentation on why people should invest in Ghana. But they had an MC there whose name I shall not call. It's probably the worst MC I've ever seen in my life.
See,
See and heard.
Okay.
Saw and heard. Because first of all, he started. They started by saying, of course, they're expecting the Asante King as the special guest and keynote speaker.
Right.
Right. So if you're having a head of state, you have to play the national anthem of the country.
Right.
So they said, please stand to the national anthem of Trinidad and Tobago and Ghana. Of course, only the Trinidad and Tobago anthem played. The Asante King had not arrived yet, but they started because apparently somebody said, go ahead and start. He'll be joining you momentarily. And that man, whoever that MC was, I know the name, didn't do the salutation list. 15 minutes into the program, he did the salutation list and then kept going. AMB or Ambassador. HE or His Excellency.
What? Now send me that name. You sent the name?
I'm going to send for you now.
Somebody actually did that, Paul? MC in a program? Nah, I ain't believe you.
He called out a list of ministers who were not there.
Who were not there.
And left out ministers who were there. You know when you're doing those things, they give you a list of people who are targeted to attend. But you have to confirm who's actually there. Let me tell you something. Need help. Should never get a gig again like that. Never.
Is it somebody
after a while, it's just wondering what is he going to do next?
Is it somebody who normally MCs programs?
Clearly not.
No, you would know. You would know the name, and if it's familiar with
the name is vaguely familiar.
Let
me say it for you. I think he get a prize for the possibly worst MC I've ever seen at an official function. He said, we'd like to acknowledge Senator Mrs. Gopi Schoon.
I don't know that name at all. I've never heard of that name.
I will not call the name. Okay?
Maybe is he somebody from the Emancipation Support Committee?
Quite possibly.
Well, they have a way of having some colorful characters, eh?
Yeah.
Because even Shabaka on that yesterday made a few faux pas. Well, he emceed the program and he made a couple errors, including when he was going to introduce the Prime Minister. He said, all right, I have to make sure and get this protocol correct. And he bends down to take up a piece of paper. and then basically says, Dr. Keith Rowley, Prime Minister of the Trinidad and Tobago. I say, so what could he have not gotten correct there? But he's saying this on the microphone. I had to make sure I get this correct. And bends underneath to take up a piece of paper only to announce Dr. Keith Rowley, Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. How you could get that wrong if you're introducing the Prime Minister? And that was Shabaka Campbell, who has done that many times before.
And he's a bright man.
And he has done that many times before in terms of hosting something.
Maybe he was being facetious in some way.
I didn't understand what he did, why he did it, you know?
We didn't mention this last time.
The Prime Minister sat to not knowing if to get up, you know?
Because it was such a weird introduction.
Anticlimax. Yeah. So,
did they remove the statue of Christopher Columbus in Moruga?
In Moruga?
I think I saw some pictures of that. I didn't know if it was true or not, so I didn't want to say it on Monday. But I think so. And put up a statue of one of the principals of the original peoples. First peoples. Yeah, I think that may have been
it
done.
Was moved, and that make the news?
No, so I saw some news feeds, but I didn't see it in a newspaper. And that's why I was wondering, is this real? Because you know these days you can't tell on social media.
Yep.
So I didn't want to say this is done, this was done, and maybe somebody could message us and tell us if it was actually done. Because the caption was Christopher Columbus statue finally removed in Moruga and statue of First Peoples put up.
Okay.
And
I know they've been clamoring to have the one in Port of Spain removed.
Yeah, and speaking of Shabaka Campbell, they've made a call also for the names of the streets in Port of Spain to be removed from the colonial past and put Trinidadians or people who have contributed significantly.
Yeah.
So is it that they want to say is not Port of Spain next?
Well, they've been making that call a little while now, you know.
They're going to remove the name from the colonial of the streets. You have to rename the city to them.
Well,
you can have the city called Port of Spain. Spain is a colonial past master, right?
Yeah.
At some point in our history. And then call the street Wendell Stevens Way. That don't make no sense.
Yeah.
So is it that you want to erase all the past and forget what happened, whether it was pleasant or not, or atrocious or not?
I think what they did, they targeted certain streets names and certain square names.
Like Frederick Street?
Yeah?
Like Henry Street?
Yeah, no, I think they targeted Duke Street was one I think they asked to be renamed.
No, I know over the years there's some of the persons in the past whose streets and squares had been named after who have had horrible pasts in terms of the way they treated persons who came through the slave trade and also in some instances indentured laborers.
Yeah.
From India. And the way they were, Lord Harris, I know for one.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah, Lord Harris
has been really disgusting past in terms of the way they carried on the business of colonialism in Trinidad and Tobago. And they wanted to remove them because they didn't feel they deserved the kind of recognition of having a square or a street named after them. You know? Yeah. So I think that was the rationale behind it when we interviewed Shabaka some years ago.
Yeah.
But if you're going to start, because the same thing happened with King George V Park, it's now Mandela Park.
Yeah.
People still call it King George V Park, quite frankly.
Yeah.
You understand? So there was to be fair, there was a rationale for removing some of the names because not all had a tarnished past.
Correct.
You know? Queen Street is now Janelle Penny Commission Street, you know?
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. But I don't know that you could just, because it was pleasant, erase your past.
Well, that's always a raging debate, yeah, Paul?
You know, I don't know that because it is horrible. It's part of your past. It's not your fault. It's part of your past. Good morning, Raghubar Singh.
Hi, good morning, guys. Good morning.
Yes, I don't know that by just take erasing all the street names and saying we need to call it X and Y. And I agree that people who have been here and who have done significant work for this country in development and contributed should be honored.
Well,
by the
that's
naming of streets and other things. But I don't know that taking all the colonial names or most of the colonial names or some of the colonial names is the way to reconcile what they did.
well, that's the side of it that I support. I support the side of it that says we should honor some of our very own. I support that side of it. You understand? So if it is some of those names can be changed, then I wouldn't personally, I wouldn't have a problem with it. You know, but these things are always sensitive issues to deal with, especially at a city council level, because that we have had to deal with it over the years at the city
So
council
they have to
level.
apply to the city council to change the name.
Yep, you do. You have to.
The cabinet doesn't get involved in that to change a whole name.
The cabinet could get involved, especially in sensitive ones where the one with Christopher Columbus, I know, was referred to the cabinet, referred to the minister.
He needed to go.
Yeah, and that it's stuck there. It's stuck at that level because left up to the council, well, me and a few other members, well, we would have done it.
I would imagine that would need some kind of cabinet approval to change a whole name of a street and a city in the capital. You understand?
Yeah.
How's the emancipation, Dr. Singh?
Very much a relaxing day at home. Well, not so relaxing because I had rehearsals, but I was at home, so you know, it was what it was.
Where you're watching next?
I was looking forward to it being a day of complete relaxation where I could do whatever I wanted, but it didn't turn out like that. So
I was attempting to go to the village to get a pair of slippers I saw online, which I found was so well done. But when I saw the crowds yesterday, I just said, not.
The crowds.
And it was the parade, because I guess it was sunshine, there was no rain. It was very, very well attended. And it blocked off some streets heading up to the Savannah side on the Frederick Street side, and parts of around Savannah were blocked off. So I just said, not today. I'll probably try to go today or tomorrow.
Was yesterday recorded as the hottest day of the year? Because the day before was.
It's really hot.
Very hot yesterday.
I suspect yesterday trumped Monday.
Oh, yesterday
Monday was recorded as the hottest day for the year.
But yesterday probably trumped Monday.
Yeah, yesterday was particularly hot.
Jeez, you web.
Yeah, it was like, what?
Yeah. So I just made an about and I went to see Oppenheimer. Very good movie.
Well, I see
good morning, movie town.
I see you quarreling about the way to the line.
Wait for the line. And then the 50-minute wait for the wontons, which means I missed the first 50 minutes of the show. Thanks again.
Always. That's always. You have to go movie town 2 hours in advance.
No, here the classics. So you order 2 dozen wontons, one dozen chicken wontons and 1 dozen shrimp wontons. So they bring the shrimp wontons and they say you have to wait 15 minutes. You have to wait again because they didn't put on the chicken and the shrimp at the same time. So you have to wait more for them to do the other one separately.
Yeah.
I mean, movie town.
But were you alone want with all them wontons?
It wasn't me alone.
Oh.
But I usually, I wouldn't go. Usually I would go movie town 4 o'clock.
I thought it take long.
That kind of thing. To avoid that kind of crowd that you're talking about.
No, it was 1:30 in the afternoon. That's why I went early. So I don't leave with the crowd.
But that was a holiday, wasn't it? It's yesterday when not so.
I wasn't going to see Barbie. My movie should have no problems, but I guess the confectioner's line will be the same for everybody.
Yeah, because you're on a holiday. On a holiday, there are going to be lines.
When I know that, I go early.
Movie town just can't get that confectionery line sorted out.
No.
They just can't get it fixed.
Well, that's what I'm saying. When I go, there is no line because I got a point.
When you go 2 o'clock in the morning?
No, if you go at 4 o'clock just after work and stuff, there's no
during
line.
the week. During the week.
Yeah, during the week. That's when I would go. I would never go to cinema on a Saturday.
But not everybody has the flexibility to go to leave work and go like you, Richard. Use the bus.
No, if I'm going Saturday, it has to be 11:30, 12 o'clock in the morning.
You're right. But I didn't think 1:30 would be so bad, but you're right, it's a holiday.
That's when I would go. If I go on Saturday, it's that hour.
Movie town just need to get the act together, boy. Oh my God.
Yeah, I've always had
And
problems.
then the other part of it is the people who stand up 20 minutes in line and then reach up. I wonder what I want.
Oh, yes.
But you were in the line for 20 minutes though.
Then they started look at the
And then
menu.
they said, you're in the line 20 minutes and you didn't see what you want? Really? That's the other part of it. Right? That's a movie tongue for. That is people's fault.
Yeah.
And then they call in their friends, and we here, come and tell me what you want.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm one of those. I'm one of those who goes in. Who would go into the cinema and sit down and wait, and that person take the line. Yes, I ain't staying in that line. I'm sorry. I come for a movie. I ain't come for food.
But remember, you have your assistants.
Yeah. So I've been lucky that way.
Anyway, any of you have newspapers, sirs?
No, I don't actually.
I guess Richard, you have papers?
No, I don't have this morning. Sorry, guys.
It is Wednesday,
Let me just let
2nd of
folks
August.
know. If they're in the
2023.
Solo by Carlson Field, you're going to squeeze into the extreme right shoulder, right lane. There's a serious accident. A truck and a car is flipped. The emergency crews, fire, police, ambulance are on the scene.
The truck and the car flip?
No, the truck got blocked. I just sent a picture of it. Yeah, the car flipped, or it's a van. I can't even tell. So that is causing some serious traffic for those that are heading northbound. Again, that accident is northbound by Carlson Field.
Whoa.
That traffic is starting from Coover.
I guess we can ask the question, should the names in Port of Spain be renamed, as is being suggested by Shabaka Cambon and the Emancipation Support Committee?
Yeah,
Or some of the names in Port of Spain.
Yeah.
All right, let's start with the Guardian for today. A picture of the leader of the opposition, Mrs. Prasad Bissessa, at a meeting dressed in African garb, celebrating Emancipation Day. Dad of man killed in home invasion. What really happened to my son? Another person killed in a home invasion, sadly. UNC leader. This is another question we could have. Fight fire with fire. I think Mrs. Prasad Bissessa says light them up, which I find quite disturbing to be saying. But senior
the thing that found on the ledge of the Prime Minister residence?
No, she says, let me read the story before I be accused of misquoting. It's about people who come into your properties. Opposition leader Kamala Prasad Bissessa has reiterated the UNC stand your ground law to allow law-abiding citizens gun ownership. She noted on Saturday incident in which 45-year-old homeowner in Egypt Trace was at home with his daughter when an unknown number of men attempted to enter the house. Right? At the party's public meeting in Chaguanas on Monday, Prasad Bissessa said, quote, "So when the criminals invade your home, draw your license firearm and light them up. Empty the whole clip. Reload. Fight fire with fire." I think that is a very disturbing
The opposition leader said that?
Yes.
Wow.
Very, very disturbing statement to me.
Okay.
PM slams morons against reparations for slavery. As Kamala warns of cascading failure, Guardian Group says we're strong, fiscally and healthy. Cops probing circumstances of deadly housebreaking. Suspected slave dungeon found on former something. It ends there. I don't know what it means. Synanon, $7 million project in Aruka will minimize flooding along the east-west corridor. Let's move now to the news day for today. UNC leader promises easier access to FULs. Kamala, light up criminals. That could be the question. It's leading all the papers. PM interested in education ties with Africa. Asante King sounds warning. Freedom to wallow in poverty is not emancipation. Heritage Festival comes to an end. Shot man dies at Tunapuna Market. And judge rules against Chief of Defense Staff in Stolia's demotion case. We move now to the Express. Teen's body found. This body of 16-year-old Tyree Singh, who got into difficulties in Mayaro, was recovered sadly. Jamaica's under-19s beat Barbados to claim 3-day Rising Stars Championship title. Finders keepers. Opposition leader worried about another Clico meltdown. Express is very strange this morning. King Charles silent on reparations. And that's it for your 3 major dailies, online anyway, for today, the 2nd of August, 2023. We've entered 8 months of the year already.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So I
Richard,
guess
did
the
that
question
person,
was to be,
Richard, did that person win that competition you judged on Monday?
Oh, no, she wasn't in it.
She wasn't in it? Okay.
No, she wasn't one of the competitors.
Okay. Okay. She probably didn't compete because she would have obviously won.
it doesn't make sense talking about things on the platform that nobody else knows what you're talking about.
Nobody knows.
Yes, we do it all the time.
We should not. Let's get into the results of morning poll.
Which question do you all prefer?
All right, you guys think about it. Let me give the results of the poll. Will you support the Stand Your Ground law in Trinidad and Tobago? That was our poll on Monday. The results right after this.
SWAT Estate Police Company Limited recruitment drive from the 27th of July to the 8th of August 2023. Available positions: security officers, supervisors, estate constables, and drivers. Interested? Then visit any of their locations to complete application forms. Head office, number 2 Royal Promenade Road, Aruca. In San Fernando, number 69 Naparima Mayara Road, Coquia Village. Port of Spain, number 31 Rosalino Street. Tobago, number 21 Hibiscus Drive, Lowlands. We offer a timely salary, life insurance, medical insurance, health insurance, pension plan, and paid vacation leave. Please ensure you walk with a passport-size photo, a copy of your ID or DP, and all certificates. A resume is optional. For further information, check out their socials or contact 646-7928 extension 1205. SWAT, serving businesses and communities for over 31 years.
Thank you, SWAT. Going to all those that SWAT our poll on Monday. Will you support the Stand Your Ground law in Trinidad and Tobago? 63%, 63 said no. All right.
Paul, you didn't tell me she said it while bedecked in African wear. Was it at an emancipation function?
You're muted, Paul.
Paul,
I don't know what the relevance of. I don't know what the relevance of her being bedecked in African wear is, quite frankly. But she said on the Monday Night Forum.
I followed it up with, was it at an emancipation function?
It was Monday Night Forum, I do believe.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right. Good morning, Mogin, Josie Richardson, Marcia Rock, Leonard Naipaul, Mrs. R. Good morning to you. All right.
So let me play the clip that Wendell just sent to you first. Right, I think that could be subject to the question. Do you agree with Mrs. Pasal-Bissessar that people who have licensed firearms should, quote unquote, light them up?
Mm-hmm.
Citizens have access to legal gun ownership. When the criminals invade your home, you can draw your licensed firearm and light them up. Empty the whole clip. Empty it, light them up, reload. We have to fight fire with fire. Look at the front page of the Express.
Right. So I think the question could be that, would you agree with Mrs. Pasal-Bissessar that persons who have FULs and frame
that differently, Paul. Should a leader of an opposition be exposing that on a public platform? People could agree with it, but should it be said on a public platform? Because most people might agree with it, but should something like that be said on a public platform? An opposition leader, former prime minister, telling people to light up people, reload your clip and let it and empty it again. Should that be said on a public platform? That to me, that is a better question.
Raghubar Singh. I think that question is. I think that's a loaded question, Wendell. The question needs to be framed in a more neutral manner.
Well, you all can fix it, but to me, asking if we agree with her may not get the result that a true result, because most people will.
Do you think that's an appropriate statement from the leader of the
Right.
opposition? I would say
So
something like that.
So you fixed it.
Because I don't know that it's a very disturbing statement to me that because it's not just light them up, it's reload and empty the clip.
Yeah.
It's it's not only, I just think it's let me just basically say I am.
Citizens have access to legal gun ownership. When the criminals invade your home, you can draw your licensed firearm and light them up. Empty the whole clip. Empty it. Light them up. Reload. We have to fight.
Imagine the outrage if any other.
Do you agree with this statement by the opposition leader?
Yeah. I will say what I have to say after the poll.
Right? Is that okay, Richard?
I guess.
Mm-hmm. All right.
It kind of straddles both.
Yeah.
Both the content and the fact of who's coming from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So that's the question. Do you agree with this statement by the opposition leader?
All right. We just played it. 222-8255. Toll-free North Americans, 866-525-1099. On YouTube, you can vote. Good morning, Rena Jennings and Kyle L. Cupid. Good morning to you. Of course, you send us a message via our mobile app and website as well. All right. And on YouTube, you can just say yes or no. You can call us. We got 9.5 minutes to answer our vote. Once again, our morning poll.
Do you agree with the statement of the opposition leader with regard to, I don't know if you're including all of that, but with regard to what you just said, with regard to legal gun ownership and lighting them up?
Mm-hmm.
Do you agree, or do you think it's appropriate? That's our poll this morning. 222-TALK, 222-8255. North Americans, 866-525-1099. People on the web and the app, you know what to do, so do it. And people in other parts of the planet, 1-868-222-TALK.
All right.
Is that okay?
Yep. Do you agree with the statement by the opposition leader, firearm users, license owners to light them up, reload, and empty the clip?
Yep. Good morning, caller.
Hi, good morning to the Power Breakfast School.
Morning.
Trevor, I don't agree with that statement.
You don't agree.
Fight crime, but I don't agree with that statement.
All right. Thank you, Trevor. Good morning, caller. Oops, easy. Good morning.
Morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
I think at this time, that statement is very appropriate with regards to home invasions. Very appropriate. I said yes.
All right. Thank you. GB says don't agree. Strut says no. Kazim Mohammed on YouTube says no. Kenny out in Harlem says no. Alan Reese says I agree. Josie Richardson says no to the poll. H.S. Wilson says yes, I agree. Carol Guevara says no. D says I agree. All right. What says you, caller?
Hi, morning. Mrs. Al here.
Uh-huh.
Definitely, yes, I agree with that statement.
All right. Thank you. Good morning.
Hi, good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
It's only criminals will disagree. I say yes to the statement.
All right. Where are you calling from?
Arima.
Arima. Have a good day, buddy. Thanks for calling in.
You can't say only criminals will disagree.
Mr. Carapo says no.
Responding to what he just said.
Yeah, Mr. Carapo says no. Brenda Isaac says no. J97, don't agree. Beauty Culture says no, I don't. All right, Carlisle Cupid, we just want yes or no, please. Ms. Maloney says no. All right, 222-8255, toll-free North Americans, 866-525-1099. Do you agree with the statement by the opposition leader for FUL owners, firearm users license, to light them up, reload, empty the clip on home invasion? What says you, caller?
Gentlemen, good morning.
Morning.
I do not agree with the opposition leader's statement. It is encouraging licensed firearm owners to use excessive force in defending themselves.
All right. Thank you.
I don't understand this report. I'll comment after.
All right. Leonard Naipaul says yes. Vaughn Drayton says yes. 222-8255, toll-free North Americans, 866-525-1099. Again, if you're heading northbound on the Solomon Hutroy Highway, there's a serious accident by Carlson Field, and you're going to get traffic this morning pretty much from Gasparillo and heavier after Claxton Bay. Right? Rivulet Road is heavy. All right. Let's see. Rena Buru Jennings says no. Mo Gaines says hell no to the poll, gentlemen. Thank you, Mo Gaines. Mr. Beeps. Morning to the crew. Absolutely no to the poll. Thank you, Mr. Beeps. What says you, caller?
Good morning.
Morning.
Yes, I totally agree.
You agree. All right.
Yes, about time.
All right. Thank you so much. Where are you calling us from?
Princetown.
Princetown. All right, Princetown. Thank you for calling in.
Hi, Steve.
Bye-bye. Have a great day. Good morning.
Morning. Rangos here, Wendy Ann. Yes, I agree. Totally.
All right, Wendy Ann. Thank you, Wendy Ann in Aranguez. Good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
I said no, and that lady mad.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Wayne out in Simcoe, Ontario, Canada says no. Thank you, Wayne. Have a good one. Carry banner this weekend. Go and jump up. Wave your hands in the air like you just don't care.
So do you agree with the statement of the opposition leader for FUL owners to light them up, reload, empty the clip on home invaders? That's our poll this morning. So tell us what you think. This is your opportunity to weigh in with your opinion. 222-TALK, 222-8255, North Americans, 866-525-1099. People on the web and the app, you can just send your votes via the messaging portals on those respective platforms. And people in other parts of the planet, 1-868-222-TALK, 222-8255. Do you agree with the statement by the
legal
opposition
gun
leader?
ownership? When the criminals invade your home, you can draw your licensed firearm and light them up. Empty the whole clip. Empty it. Light them up. Reload.
All right. Miss Ingrid says, my answer to the poll is absolutely yes. Enough is enough. I worry about my family. D says, tell when I know you cannot vote twice on the app. Okay.
Of course you can.
All right. So the issue was raised on Monday when I wasn't here. Yeah.
When did I do about you many background there?
Of course you can. I turn a face in the other direction so I could get the light on my face.
That is the battery in the back there?
It is actually. That's the same pink, same, what you call it last time? Pink tile?
The pink tiles. Lincoln says, hell yes, I agree.
The bathroom down the door?
No.
Once you hide and they want to inside of it, they don't to hide.
Nothing.
Once you reach in there, you have nothing to hide. No door necessary.
Specifically designed that way.
Glenn says, okay. Thank you, Glenn.
It was designed that way. You open show you
I agree, Once you come in there, down and die.
Come in. You're in a blacks. All you come
When
in.
you make it inside of there, you have nothing to hide from Wendell. So don't look for no door. No privacy at all, but not to do nothing at all.
None. That's how the people who live here wanted it. So.
I want to cry, yes?
I still want to say something. Huh?
They wanted no door.
Say something. All right.
So what
we have less than a minute to vote.
You know why they keep coming back?
They're coming back? Okay, I didn't know that. Information.
Do you agree with the statement by the opposition leader, Kamala Prasad-Visesa, for firearm users, license holders to light them up, reload, empty the clip on home invasions? That's our poll. It is going to stay up until tomorrow morning when we give you the final results. Lorna, good morning, Lorna. Good morning, Indy. And of course, good morning to Kali. Steve, hi, saying good morning from extremely hot New Orleans. My answer is yes to the poll. All right. Have a good one there. New Orleans, that's one place I have to visit. One place I have to go is New Orleans.
Yeah. I went for 1 day, actually.
I've been there. I spent a few days there, actually.
Yeah.
You spent a day in New Orleans? Nice place.
I spent a couple of days, yeah. It is.
You did the French Quarters?
Of course, I did the French Quarter. One day.
New Orleans, cannot not go to the French Quarter.
You must know I will do that.
Lorna, have you been to the French Quarters yet?
Yep.
All right. Paul, you read the news or?
No.
Oh, okay. All right.
Not that I know of.
Okay. Of course, our poll is going to stay up until tomorrow morning. Again, do you agree with the statement by the opposition leader for firearm users, license holders?
Well, you cannot vote twice on the poll.
Empty the clip on home
online. So your presumptions on Monday are inaccurate.
But I've never tried to do it. Gentlemen, I've been told by people that you can.
No, people have just messaged me. 3 people said they cannot vote twice online.
Well, you have to try it yourself. I guess I'll have to try it myself and see.
All right, gentlemen, let's get into our major news. Aviation Hill Bab is in.
This is your news bulletin from Power 102 Digital.
The opposition leader promises easier access to FULs and encourages citizens to light up criminals. The body of a 16-year-old teen who got into difficulties trying to rescue his sister in the waters off Mayaro on Sunday has been recovered. A call is made to rename some of the streets from Trinidad and Tobago's colonial past, and TSTT makes progress following Sunday's act of vandalism on one of the company's critical cable arteries in South Trinidad. Details in a moment. Days after female homeowner shot and killed an intruder at her Shogunas home, opposition leader Kamala Prasad-Visesa has promised easier access to firearms users' licenses for law-abiding citizens after the UNC wins the next general elections. And with this ease of access to legal firearms under a UNC government, she said at the party's public meeting in Shogunas on Monday, quote, "When the criminals invade your home, draw your licensed firearm and light them up. Empty the whole clip and reload too. Fight fire with fire. end quote. On Saturday night, an intruder was shot in the head and killed after he climbed over the fence of a house in Endeavour, entered the homeowner's SUV, and then began to violently shake the front door of the house. The female occupant grabbed the licensed firearm belonging to another person who lives in the house, pointed it at the man through a window, and fired a shot. The Siparia MP, who is also a senior counsel, claimed the PNM did not want citizens to protect themselves against criminals. Government is assuring the population there will be equitable distribution of state lands. The commitment comes from Minister of National Security Fitzgerald Hines. Speaking during Emancipation Day celebrations in Port of Spain on Monday, Minister Hines said the commitment with respect to this undertaking is already in effect. A call has been made for the renaming of the street from Trinidad and Tobago's colonial past. The appeal comes from project leader of the Crossroads Freedom Project, Shabaka Cambon. Speaking during Emancipation Day celebrations in Port of Spain on Monday, Mr. Cambon cited the significance of this development. Mr. Cambon suggested a commission be formed to review the proposal. He said his organization is willing to give its input on this venture. The body of a 16-year-old teen who got into difficulties trying to rescue his sister in the waters of Mayaro on Sunday has been recovered. Tyrese Singh's body washed ashore 5 miles from where he disappeared off the St. Joseph estate on Monday night. His relatives were camped at the site of the incident along Manzanilla Road when the teen's battered body was sighted sometime around 7:30 p.m. The body was discovered by a community search team, including residents, fishermen, and relatives. The teenager's mother, Hazel Keynes, was said to be distraught and was being monitored by relatives. Tyrese was the last of 5 children. He had gone to the beach with his 19-year-old sister and their 15-year-old cousin. They were bathing in about 4 feet of water off Mahana Drive, Manzanilla Road, around 5:15 p.m. when Tyrese's sister began experiencing difficulty. He attempted to rescue her, relatives said, but got into difficulties and was swept away by the current. Rondell Noel, who was at the beach, went to the water and rescued the teenage girls, but Tyrese could not be found. Fishermen from the area were alerted and began searching the area using nets spanning 150 feet in the water, but he could not be found. The Telecommunications Services of Trinidad and Tobago says its crews have been working around the clock to restore services to impacted customers following Sunday's act of vandalism on one of the company's critical cable arteries in South Trinidad. It says significant progress has been made, which means service has returned for most customers, while others continue to experience intermittent or disrupted service during the restoration efforts. In a media release on Monday, TSTT said it is in the final stages of completing all necessary repairs. TSTT said, therefore, all customers impacted by this outage should have their services restored soon. The company is also thanking customers for their patience during the repair process and salute the hardworking team for their dedication in ensuring valued customers' services resumed in the shortest possible time. You are listening to news on Power 102 Digital to 7 o'clock. 80 new positive COVID-19 cases have been recorded. This is indicated in the latest clinical update from the Ministry of Health on Monday. The ministry said there were no reported deaths from the virus. 4,053 persons have lost their lives due to the virus locally. The ministry said 151 persons are hospitalized with COVID-19. 6,274 represents the amount of total active positive cases in Trinidad and Tobago. Well, finally, here is weather news for the period today until midnight. Trinidad and Tobago, a hot and sunny morning will give way to partly cloudy skies by midday, with showers occurring in a few areas. There's also a medium chance of isolated heavy showers or thunderstorms, mainly during the afternoon. Tonight will be fair with a brief shower at times. Gusty winds and street or flash flooding may occur near heavy showers and thunderstorms. Look out for a forecast maximum temperature of 32 degrees Celsius at Piarco International Airport and 31 degrees Celsius at Crown Point in Tobago. Currently, it is 27 degrees Celsius at both localities. Recapping your headlines to 7 o'clock, the opposition leader promises easier access to FULs, encourages citizens to light up criminals. The body of a 16-year-old teen who got into difficulties trying to rescue his sister in the waters off Mayaro on Sunday has been recovered. A call has been made to rename some of the streets from Trinidad and Tobago's colonial past, and TSTT makes progress following Sunday's active vandalism on one of the company's critical cable arteries in South Trinidad. I'm Avril Sindel-Bab. That was news to 7 o'clock on Power 102 Digital. Look out for more news in detail at 12 noon today and an update coming up at 8 o'clock this morning. For more details, log on to power102fm.com.
Up to date and credible. Power 102 Digital.
All right. Thank you so much, Avril. We call it AV around here. AV's in Hill Bab. Thank you so much for our major news. Of course, we have a news brief coming up at 8 o'clock this morning right here on Power 102 Digital. All right. Quickly, let's see what's happening traffic-wise. I have no idea if that accident by Carlson Field is cleared up. Apparently it is. Traffic has eased up considerably. So let me start down San Fernando. I got nothing to tell you about. Leaving Princestown to Cedar Hill, you got some volume. Traffic is starting from, oh no, it didn't ease up at all. Marabella, heavy up till that accident by Chase Village. Rivulet Road is heavy, taking the Southern Main Road from Calcutta number 3 to Chase Village flyover. That is also heavy. Freeport Mission Road from the highway. It is heavy exiting there as well toward the Southern Main Road. That is also heavy. I don't know if it's cleared up yet. Hopefully somebody will let me know as soon as possible. But it was a serious accident involving a truck and a car that flipped. And of course, just the shoulder of the right lane and half of the right lane is possible down to one. Okay. Hope nobody is seriously injured in that accident. But taking a look at the east-west corridor now, approaching Piarco, you've got some Trin City towards Yui. Also got some Southern Main Road, Curep, beginning to build. Arango's Main Road, same thing. And then you're going to get traffic pretty much as you head by C-Lots, right? Just by NP and Bagwan things, you're going to get some traffic there. Nothing out of the west so far, all right? So that's a quick traffic update for you. Hope it helped you out on one way or the other. Good morning to you, Trini in Boston. Hope all is well. All right, gentlemen. Carl M. Jack. Okay. Brenda Isaac, good morning. She says fix the day. Today is Wednesday. Okay. On what?
Oh, yeah, my bad. Thanks.
Okay.
It was going to take a tape.
Oh. All right. So
my bad. Sorry.
Fix it there, Henry. Henry. Well, fix it there, Henry. Well, fix it.
When we give the results of the poll, I will intervene, but I don't want to. I have some strong thoughts on that statement.
Well, I do too, because
have access to legal gun ownership. When the criminals invade your home, you can draw your licensed firearm and light them up. Empty the whole clip. Empty it. Light them up. Reload. We have to fight fire with fire.
And
look at the front page of the Express today.
Yeah. And this advice is coming from an attorney who's a senior counselor. That is the advice she is given to.
Can we give the poll results before you opine?
All right. No, well, I mean the poll results, I can do that. The poll results, of course, we asked, do you agree with the statement by the opposition leader for, let me put on my camera for this. Do you agree with the statement by the opposition leader for FUL owners to light them up, reload, empty the clip on home invaders? Of course, you would have just heard her yourself. She was speaking at the Monday Night Forum. This was the night before Emancipation Day. And she basically said to FUL owners, light them up, reload, empty.
Can you give the results of the poll, please?
13 people said yes, and 18 said no. 13 said yes, 18 said no. Again,
now I'll let you go first. I'll let you
right.
go first.
Again,
Let it go first. Let it get it out of the system.
No, I no problem because I'll take off my camera.
All.
I'll take off my camera so I could have my biscuit and coffee. Again, this advice is coming from a former prime minister, former head of the National Security Council, now opposition leader, who is a senior counsel and an attorney at law, giving advice to FUL owners, right? Because she was specific this time to FUL owners that when people invade your home, light them up, empty the clip, right? Now, people who have FUL, who have guns, know what the clip consists of. It differs in some guns. Reload and light them up again. Well, she didn't say light them up again, but she said reload and empty the clip. So, again, FUL owners, for people who know the laws of Trinidad and Tobago, there is a defense law. But I don't know if an attorney should be advising you with the kind of advice coming from an opposition leader. I don't know if a politician should be saying that on a public platform, because you could very well face charges if you do what is being advised to be done in that information from the opposition leader. Because we have had people who have faced manslaughter charges for less. Okay? They are before the court for less. So if you all want to take that advice, I think that's the most reckless statement coming from an opposition leader on a public platform. Because if that statement had come from any other political leader, anyone, and I even go, Dr. Rowley, Philip Alexander, David Abdullah, Fuad Abubakar, Watson Duke, we would all be condemning it. All. Everybody. But that coming from our first female prime minister, sorry, I could never support it. I'll hold there for now, Paul.
I fully understand. You see, and when you look at the results of the poll, mind you, the poll is not a scientific poll, but it gives you a slight sense of what people are feeling.
Mm-hmm.
In the environment we're in, I understand why people who voted yes said yes. Because it speaks to a feeling of law enforcement and national security for people to feel protected. And that could only happen when people don't have confidence in the systems to protect them in a society. And I say that understanding how people are feeling, because we home invasions, people getting killed, people getting raped, people getting assaulted, and people are living in literal fear. But I do not think it's productive for people to say, and the parts that are disturbing to me, reload, empty the clip. Not protect yourself, And I understand the tendency toward that kind of language, because people are living in mortal fear. Mm-hmm. People are losing their lives. And people have little or no confidence in law enforcement to protect them in these circumstances when somebody comes in your house. But I think we are going down the wrong road when we're advising people to reload and empty the clip. That can't be productive in my mind. And again, I said, I understand the mortal fear people are living in. And it's easy to fan the flames of that kind of fear. But it also speaks to a subtext of a failure of law enforcement and national security. That's what it tells me more than anything else. So you don't feel that the state structures can protect you, so you have to take matters into your own hands and protect yourself and your family. And that's basically what it's saying. I don't agree with the approach, but I understand where it's coming from.
Well, let me repeat what I said last week. I had someone that came into the store and said, who I know, and they said that they witnessed in their cameras a group of gentlemen in bicycles.
And I don't know, the whole poll seems to be still up. I don't know what if Ruben is attentive to it.
Okay. And she called the St. Joseph police station and they said two things. One, they can't take the report. And two, they have no vehicles.
Yeah, same thing I said. I said I understand the context within which people who voted yes, you know.
Yeah.
People who voted yes because they are living in mortal fear for their lives. And they have little no confidence in law enforcement to intervene if somebody come in your house. But to me, it's fanning the flames of something that we need to be cautious of in this country. And that may be vigilante type justice. So,
without a shred of evidence, gentlemen, without a shred of evidence, if Dr. Rowley had said that, we may have gotten a different result. Without a shred of evidence. If Dr. Keith Rowley had said that on a political platform, man, they would be murdering him in the media this morning. And I'll say no more on that. But if FUL owners want to take that advice and then face the DPP and the courts after, that is their business. Because maybe these people have, and Paul, you're right, maybe people are saying it because of the crime situation we have had. But we here on this program, we've all been victims, gun crime victims. You understand? And I don't know that I could ever take that advice that opposition leader said.
I don't think it's a productive statement. But I understand the people who voted yes, why they would feel that way, that it's appropriate, because people are living in mortal fear for their lives. And they have little or no confidence that law enforcement or the state structures to protect them are actually working. Yeah. So I understand it.
Yeah.
And we get to that place when, here's a frustration.
There's a lot of frustration about...
And fear, literal abject fear.
Yeah. So when there's frustration...
Yeah,
it leads to those kinds of extreme statements in terms of, this is how you need to respond.
Yeah, because you just don't have any confidence in the state structure to protect you.
Those things eventually lead to innocent people. Those things eventually lead to innocent people being shot and killed. That is what it will lead to. We have had incidents in the United States and across the world with incidents where people knocking on doors for whatever reason and being shot and killed. Is that the craziness we want to have here? The place done crazy already. We want to encourage that level of craziness too now? No, man.
It speaks to a failure of law enforcement. As I said again, I don't think it's a productive statement at all. I think it's an extreme statement. And we should be cautioned against making statements like that as leaders. But I understand the people who voted yes, why they vote yes. Because people are fed up, frustrated, and frightened. They were afraid for their lives. Mm-hmm. We could open the phone lines.
Yeah, and I suppose the best medicine, if you want to use the word medicine, against home invasions from a productive point of view is to make your house as unattractive to possible bandits as possible.
But Richard, that might be so, but bandits coming in your house, you could have gate, fence, electric gate, burglar proofing all wrong. They're still coming at you.
Yeah, but there are some houses that are more attractive that they will figure.
I wouldn't doubt that, but you.
So what I'm saying, and that's what security officials will tell you, you can't prevent completely a home invasion if somebody wants to come in. I mean, they may not be able to actually physically get into your house. That you could do depending on what you have.
You can't even talk to the police commissioner because
you can make your house as unattractive as possible by whatever measures you have.
Like the commissioner feel press releases and one way media statements is the way to go. Yeah. That'd be the way to go if you have results, but if you're not having results.
Yeah, but
as I said,
people look at it as I have the right to protect my property and my lives.
And they do. You do.
And if I have an FUL, if I'm a FUL holder, whatever that takes is what it takes. And that's how
But
some people are going to look at it.
All right,
But
gentlemen,
under
we
the
do have a
laws,
lot of calls coming
under
through.
the
So let's
laws,
give the
you
listeners
can
a chance
protect
to go through.
yourself right now. You
Good
can.
morning, caller.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
Morning.
Richard, you have me puzzled. How can you equate vigilante justice with someone protecting their home, their family, and themselves in their home?
I said it could lead to that. Listen carefully. I said it could lead to that because then you could get to the point where somebody get out of your yard and the neighborhood wrongs up and go and hunt them down. Because I've seen it happen in the US already. I'm not saying that specifically, but it could get to that.
I don't think the lady's statement and that she meant if you come into the house to light them up. I don't see how it could equate to vigilante justice. And one thing, what is the reason for somebody getting a FUL in the first place? Not to protect themselves and their family.
Yes.
We are now living in this country. I don't understand. I don't understand the hullabaloo about it. What Mrs. Basad says, whether you support her or not, what she said on the platform is what going through many citizens' minds.
Yeah.
You heard my explanation, right? In full, right?
I do agree with your explanation.
Okay. All right. Well, we could disagree.
Thank you. Lots of calls. Good morning.
Gentlemen, good morning once again.
Morning.
The views that I am about to express are that of my own and not of Power 102. So I'm putting this disclaimer out front.
Right. So the disclaimer is not going to excuse us if you libel or slander somebody, yeah? So let me just tell you that. So your disclaimer is not going to, if you're going to libel or slander somebody, that's not going to save us.
I have more responsibility than that, Dr. Richard.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
All right. So the views that the opposition leader expressed was known on a platform on the eve of a local government election. The policy that the cabinet of Trinidad and Tobago can expound or change has to be done with the power of the political party in power. So Mrs. Prasad's party is not in power, so they cannot change the policy as it relates to FUL, and we can only do so while in power. And they're speaking on a local government platform. But anything goes on the local platform right now. The Commissioner of Police is the only person authorized to issue FUL in Trinidad and Tobago. And therefore, it's not understandable of how it is a UNC administration is going to do what they have. I am about to say what it is the opposition leader did not say. She did not say that. In my opinion, it may be implied, or you can take a view of it. So let us face reality. She was speaking to her supporters. And most of her supporters are that of East Indian descent, and we cannot deny that fact. And she's speaking to her constituents. Whether we like it or not, the reality of the situation that people involved in criminal activity, violent crime, are people of African descent. Without empirical evidence, but we strongly believe that what I'm saying is fairly accurate. In my opinion, she is telling people who are possessing FULs, FUECs, to kill the people of African descent if it is the attempt to enter your property.
That's where I'll stop you. That's where I'll stop you. Because she's not saying to anybody, kill people of African descent. You are making that link by implication. That is not what she's saying.
I repeated, she did not say that. I just told you that is what it is.
Right, but I am not going to allow you to imply it and connect them in that strong way, because that is not what she said.
All right.
You know, but as I said in the
no, see, let him finish. Let him finish. I have no problem with him finishing his thought.
Yeah, I just have lots. All my lines are lit up. Go ahead, caller, quickly.
She is expressing the view that people should use excessive force, as Mr. Stephen has said, to use excessive force in defending themselves and their family and their property. And I will not and I cannot agree with that statement.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Have a good day, buddy. All the best to you. Good morning, Good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
It is very unfair for the police to be getting blamed when they are catching the bandit. The person to blame is when they go to court, they get bail and send back out with the said rifle that they kill people with. They kill more. So don't blame the police, blame the magistrate, the judges, whosoever sending them back out with the said gun to kill people. Not the police. They are doing their job.
I wish life on planet Earth was as black and white as you saw it, and in the little Disney world that you live in, but life is not as black and white as that. And guess what? Police officers sometimes frame people.
Yep. Tell me about it.
That's why sometimes people get bailed too. And it's at the discretion of the judicial officer.
Or the police present poor evidence to deny bail.
Paul, Richard Wright, they frame people. There is not poor evidence they're providing. They frame people.
They sometimes use those same illegal guns that they get and put it on other people.
Who tells you that?
So it's
that's telling.
A simplification. So the justice system is wading through all of that too.
You forget. If we say Maggie Benz, all crime we're done.
Good morning, caller.
Good morning. Is that lady serious about saying that the police in general are doing their job? I mean, one of you mentioned just now that the police said they couldn't take the report, and secondly, they had no vehicles. And that is a nightmare that a lot of citizens have to go through when they make a phone call to a general police station in the country, right? And secondly, I heard one of the hosts possibly making a comparison between knocking on a door and attempting to break into somebody's house. And he mentioned what's going on in America in terms of person being knocking on a door and being killed and so on. I cannot really compare the two like that. The average person surely could tell the difference between someone knocking on your door for maybe possible general inquiry and someone attempting to break into one's home. That's like chalk and cheese, you know. Right. Okay, thank you, guys.
All right, buddy.
I don't know how you could how you could not have a problem with that, because we have had people knock on doors. A knock on a door could sound like an attempt to break into, you know. I don't know if you know that.
Good morning.
Hey, good morning. The caller that spoke just now, that he was on point, and I just wish he would have connected. Is Kamala Prasad-Bissessar saying that he is going to be able to influence the police commissioner to issue more firearms? Because that's supposed to be two different organizations. One not supposed to be able to control or influence the other. But by her public statement, she is saying that she is going to control or give the commissioner or police commissioner order to issue more FULs. Is that what Kamala Prasad? Well, that is what she is saying basically.
And that's a good observation. You know why too? Especially in the light of the fact that the central government is not going to change after this local government.
Correct. So
it's not going to change.
The whole thing is a facade, but we have to pull out what she is not saying which she is not saying is that under her leadership, she is going to give the police commissioner order to issue more firearms. And people not hearing that part of the conversation. Right? I digressed from my original statement, but why I agreed to the statement, a caller called and said, if somebody come and you would use excessive force by killing and somebody who break into your house. I wonder if he is not watching beyond the tape and the crime program when you see football teams of fellas running into your home with AR-15s. How is it if you react? How is that going to be excessive force when 10 and 12 people running into your house to attack you? You don't know if their intent is to rape your child, rape your son or your daughter, because now they're doing anything, right? Rape your wife, kill your wife, slit your throat, you do not know their intent. But you all of a sudden, you are sitting here in a comfortable position and saying, my reaction when this happens to me is going to be excessive force.
Well, that's on a case-by-case basis, Lincoln.
And also, your scenario is also a case-by-case basis. We have to try it before we assume the negative things are going to happen. And if it does happen that someone knocks on somebody's door and they are greeted with fire, with armed fire, there is a charge for that.
Yep.
There's a charge, a consequence and a charge for that. So if you want to pay...
But guess what? The innocent person dead, eh?
And how much innocent person do we have dead by home invasion this week?
We have a lot of innocent people dying with gunfire right now. We have enough.
Home invasions alone this week.
Sending message to family members by killing other family members. All that crap going on right now.
Yeah, definitely the situation in South. Richard just said you have to downscale your house rate not to look a particular way to avoid home invasions. When you see the 3 people that get killed in the house in San Fernando in about 2 weeks, it was an old board ragadan house.
Yeah.
It was an old house. Yeah. But the things people doing causing things to happen to them. The things that they are
in some cases,
yes.
Yeah, that's in some cases.
Exactly. How you could generalize that like that? People are innocent are being the targets of home invasions and murders.
I want to qualify my statement that I said previously about the...
Thank you.
About the...
All right.
With regard to framing and people, what I know is that there are cases where that seems to have been the issue, and there are allegations and things like that can happen. I should have said use the word allegations, because the judicial system is wading through what's the truth. And that's why people get bail, especially if you don't have prior offenses. Now, if you have prior offenses, the judicial officer could say no, or you have current offenses, the judicial officer could say, no, I'm not giving you bail. And there are some people that don't get bail. But you can't be carte blanche and blame the judicial system without knowing the intricacies and the complexities involved in the administration of justice. Can they make bad decisions sometimes? Absolutely. Because it's human beings dispensing justice. But a lot of times they can also make good decisions and balanced decisions in terms of what the facts are before them. But I don't want to, I didn't want to malign the TTPS in a general kind of way, in that sometimes there are allegations of things like that happening and the judicial system has to try and wade through it.
And you're right. And you're right, Richard. And maybe you may or may not have had personal experience. So you probably would have had to change your language. I ain't changing mine. You understand?
Jalali sent me something where they're showing you that Jamaica has recorded an 11.8% decrease in murders during the period January 1st to July 29th this year. So the murders in Jamaica have gone down by 11.8% for this year, for the first half of this year, in comparison to the same period last year.
What are they accounting for that?
The article doesn't really say. What it's saying is that there were 786 murders as compared to 891, with all divisions reporting a decrease in murders. According to figures, St. James recorded 119 as compared to 129, while St. Anne showed an increase moving from 35 to 49 and Clarendon 52 to 61. The JCF said Kingston Western Division also recorded an increase of 43 to 50, with Kingston East recording the same number. The figures also showed a 9% decrease in shootings, with 618 shootings compared to 679 last year. So just giving you some of the statistics coming out of Jamaica.
Yeah.
This, of course, is in one of the dailies this morning.
All right. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
Good morning.
One person knocking at your door at 2:30 a.m. after jumping your wall and knocking on your door. Is that what I heard one of the co-hosts said?
You heard that? You heard that?
I don't know.
You come back with your foolishness. Is it you're regular now? You become a regular agent provocateur now?
Oh no, I'm just saying that people.
Is that what you heard? Yes or no?
How someone?
Is that what you heard? Yes or no?
I didn't hear that. I just.
You didn't hear that. So why are you saying it then?
I didn't hear that. I am just making.
So why are you?
Could we hear what he's saying at least?
What you heard?
Right. So what you are saying? Some people.
Well, withdraw your statement before you continue. Otherwise, I will talk over you all the time. Withdraw your statement.
Okay, I withdraw my statement.
Thank you.
Very good, Wendell. So how can someone be innocent at 2:30 a.m. knocking at your door? What do you supposed to do?
But that's not what he said. That is not what he said, though. And you're conflating two extremes, differently extreme circumstances.
Mm-hmm.
If someone is knocking at your door 2:30 in the morning, you do not know clearly, you know it could be a potentially dangerous situation. But that's not what Wendell implied from what I heard.
Mm-hmm.
So you're in an extreme situation where obviously somebody that you do not know is knocking at your door with somebody who I think Wendell's intent was what we have seen in the US, where people coming to your door looking for directions and are shot. Am I wrong, Wendell?
You're right. You're very correct.
Why are you confusing situations? If somebody jump over your fence and knock your door at 2 o'clock in the morning, you're more than likely to know he's a criminal. That's a different scenario.
This guy is an agent provocateur. He feels he's good at it, and he's exposed all the time. Maybe if somebody you pay for a service and you didn't, or you hire for a service and didn't pay them, and they come back for the money. It could be that too.
We could offer any different circumstances.
Thank you, caller.
Okay.
Have a good one.
Somebody come back after water 2 o'clock in the morning.
Morning.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
I would like to ask the question. Under the present legislation, in terms of people defending themselves in their home.
You speak up a bit, caller.
Yeah, under the present legislation, where people can defend themselves in their home. If you look at the statistics, I have not looked at them, but I would like to know what is the problem in terms of how it is applied at this time. If there is evidence that people who have done so, defending themselves, have been deprived of that right in any way, since the burden of proof is really with the police to investigate rather than give the benefit more or less to the homeowner. If somebody could identify, well, look, people who have responded, as the lady did recently, have been vilified or deprived in some way in our jurisdiction, then I would say, well, maybe we could consider it. But if the stand your ground just come out of the blue like that, then that's another thing, you know. So I think I'm not hearing that discussion. All I hear is stand your ground.
Well, I don't think the stand your ground came out of the blue. The stand your ground statement, although I disagree with it, comes, just like we're discussing now, out of an environment where people are being killed. People are walking into your home and raping your family, your wife and your daughters. They are robbing and murdering you. And people have lost some level of confidence in law enforcement to intervene. It is not in a vacuum.
Paul, guys, let me read this for you all.
Thank you, caller.
Exposition of the law of self-defense is contained in the dictum of Morris L.J. in Palmer versus the Queen. This court in Stephen Robinson, A.C. Psycho, A.C. Stoney versus the state, synthesize the essential principles to be extracted from Palmer. They are as follows. 1. A person who is attacked is entitled to defend himself. 2. In defending himself, he is entitled to do what is reasonably necessary. 3. The defensive action must not be out of proportion to the attack. I'll read that again. The defensive action must not be out of proportion to the attack. 4. In a moment of crisis, a person may not be able to weigh to a nicety the exact measure of his necessary defensive action. 5. In a moment of anguish, a person may do what he honestly and instinctively thought was necessary. 6. If there has been no attack, then the issue of self-defense does not arise. Listen to that again. If there has been no attack, then the issue of self-defense does not arise. And that, for the agent provocateur, listen to that again. If there has been no attack, then the issue of self-defense does not arise. Okay? I don't need to say any more on that, you know. Because as I say, maybe you all have never been victims of crime, especially gun-related crime. I've been, right? But if you want to support a statement, a carte blanche statement, to empty a clip, reload, no, light them up, reload and empty a clip. If you're comfortable with that, all power to you.
Good morning, caller. Good morning. Good morning.
Morning.
Morning, dear Martin.
Good morning. This morning, I have to take off my political hat this morning, and I'll go shock plenty people. You see what Kamala Prasad-Bissessar said there? I had been saying it for the longest while. The only part I don't agree is with the reloading, because once you empty the clip, I think that is enough. But when I look, people must watch beyond the tape and see these videos, Superintendent. I can't wait to hear him this evening. What Superintendent Alexander this be showing them home invasion. I watch a man washing down his driveway, so he had his gate open. The car driving the man yard, they jump out, 5 of them, drag that man straight up his steps in his house. And I boil with anger. I say, send them down Federation Park to lie down. You see that lady? I'm sorry. She didn't empty the clip. And all you see them will run, all of them should have been lying down, because you coming in my house, you was not invited. Where you going? I wake up 2 o'clock in the morning and see somebody in my house and I have a license firearm, arresting it. And let me tell you, I remember a police officer asked me if I wanted it would have been an unlicensed one years ago, way back in the 80s. And he tell me, he say, afraid he said, but you have children and as you have small children, I ain't think I want to give you. This, people got to be kidding me. The people who say, they agree with you, all you get a home invasion, and all you see they raping your wife or your daughter, and all you go change all your mind. Lady, well done. The police need to...
Can I ask you a question?
Free her. What you said, Paul?
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, sure.
Why you have to take off your political hat to say that?
No, because I know people, when they hear your voice, I hear who it is saying, I know what this person will vote. No, I am a critical thinker. And I know the things Camilla said, but you see, this one, the only part is the reloading. But
that's what I said this morning. I said the reload part is questionable.
Yes, I do agree with that reloading part.
The empty clip a little questionable too. But I understand the context in which it is said. I do agree with it. But people are frightened. People are afraid.
Yes, Paul. I mean, what the hell? All you just wait for it to happen. I'm not waiting for it to happen. I wish I could get it. I wish I could get one. That morning we wake up and see these fellas on top we wall. Thank God it was just cutting cable. Will you come or use UPS? What you doing in my house 2 in the morning? You come to deliver a package? Look, man, rest the maid, come to and Allen, rest the matrix on them.
Let me ask you this question then, ma'am. Let me ask you this question.
Yes, Wendell.
The fellas on them on top of the wall cutting the cable today. If you had a licensed firearm, would you have emptied the clip on them?
No, Wendell, no, because we look through the window, we look through the glass window because what dog was barking. That's why they tell you when you hear your dog barking continuously, you get up and you see where it is going. We ain't go outside, but we look through the window, we saw them. I ain't go, my husband could not say he going and shoot them. They were on the wall, you could have seen. They weren't trying to come in. When we looked through the window, we saw them. Right now, the cable's still hanging in front of my house, right? They were caught. One was on the left, one on the right, and he cut in, and the dog was getting him. The dog only biting at his pants and he pelting kick. Yes, and we end up calling Western. They never came.
Right. So in other words, you looked out.
Yes,
You assessed.
Police is who came.
Yeah. All right. So in other words, ma'am, you looked out.
Yeah.
You assessed the situation, and you
Yes,
realized you weren't in any imminent danger, and that's all.
Correct is right.
And
yes.
Well, you know what? Yes. People wouldn't do that when they're being told to empty a clip. People wouldn't do that.
No. You need no. Paul. I mean, Wendell. People taking this thing as, oh, you see a man climbing up in your mango tree, you go shoot away. No, I don't think people will think that way.
Where does it end? Because you don't know if after he done eat the mango, pick the mango, he come in your house. Where does it end?
No, you conflating different things, Wendell, to make your point.
No, I'm just saying we could border on the ridiculous when a ridiculous statement is made. When a ridiculous statement is made, we should call it for what it is. It is a ridiculous statement.
All right, I can't hear two people at the same time.
Ridiculous times, and people need to push back because the police are helping, telling you about get a room and so what the look. Okay, let me come off the radio before I cuss and make all.
Oh God. Okay, talk to you tomorrow. Okay.
All right, Mr. Martin.
Take Gillingham Martin off one time, yes? Good morning.
Ridiculous statements spur other ridiculous statements. That's about all I want to say.
Morning.
Morning. Wendell, I know you're trying to go to the extreme, but first of all, I want to say
I'm not going to the extreme. People going to the extreme.
I understand what you're saying, but I don't want to believe the TTPS just issues firearms. First of all, the amount of psychological, well, not the amount. You have to do a psychological evaluation. You have to be vetted and whatnot. I would assume within all our vetting, they ain't giving firearms. They don't give firearms to John Wicks. That people would just see people out on the fence picking cotton cable and come out with a gun blazing, right?
But they had a video, and I'm sure you saw it, Lincoln. They had a video the other day by a pub, our favorite pub in the West. Mark Bassan film it. That is how ridiculous some people could get with the firearms, you know.
I saw that, but in that video, and you notice the guy never actually pulled out his firearm. He intimidated, he threatened, but he never actually drew his firearm. At least what I saw, right? So in all of that, a little common sense in the brain recognize that, hey, I ain't doing the right thing here, right? Pull it out, because when you draw your firearm, it's to use your firearm. He never actually pulled it out. He threatened, he intimidated, right? But what I'm saying is that Ms. Diego Martin is also correct. Is also correct with what she's saying. When they don't have, and Paul said it this morning too, when they don't have confidence that the police is not going to...
That's what all this comes down to. A lack of confidence in the police service to protect you.
When in the United States, in certain states in the United States, the police are mandated to get to end every call within 5 minutes. In Trinidad and Tobago, see what Ms. Diego Martin said? TSCT police eventually came. TTPS never arrived. I'm sure she just didn't say that. Right? So when you don't have confidence that if somebody is knocking on my door at 3 o'clock in the morning, and I would like to say to that caller too, the police just come knocking on the door at 3 o'clock in the morning, eh? So I'm knocking on your door is not the green light to just shoot somebody through your door. Because the police could be executed a valid warrant at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So we must be mindful that police operate at 2 o'clock in the morning too. And they knock on doors. Right? So we have to look at what we said, Wendell, is also very, very valid. The last line that you read twice, right? Let me paraphrase. If your life is not in imminent danger, excessive force is not an excuse.
Yeah. It says, right? I'll read it again. It says, if there has been no attack, then the issue of self-defense does not arise.
Right. So knocking on your door does not qualify as an attack. So you will be charged for murder should you choose to do that. Manslaughter, yes. Right?
Let me play agent provocateur.
Thank you.
All these guidelines.
Are you sure that everybody is in the same mindset at that point?
That is why I said a psychological evaluation is done to people given an FUL. But added to that, I hope that these guidelines, I don't know, I've not been fortunate to be issued a FUL. However, I am hopeful that these guidelines are taught. I personally feel you should be brought into a class and taught the do's and don'ts of and responsibility. I know it. I don't think it has been done.
But you're supposed to go get, I think part of the requirement is you go get training, eh?
The people who I know who have been issued all come from the military, so they don't have to do that civilian training. I don't know the aspect of the civilian training. People,
Lincoln,
yes?
Lincoln, you were correct when you said you'll be charged for murder. I just got a correction on somebody. The charge will be murder.
Right. Okay? So I cannot speak to civilians getting issued. I hope that they do have some kind of formal sit-down classroom training, not just one class session, multiple. But the people who I know who have been issued are military. They are trained. They know the guidelines of effective fire. So they are not necessarily given that similar setting, formal training, right? So, and the psychological evaluation helps. No, psychological evaluation doesn't stray from a show fella who want to go around the savannah with 2 guns jogging. If you know what I mean. You understand? 2 guns in the waist jogging and shooting himself in the foot.
Well, he didn't go around the savannah with 2 guns. The guns were left in the car. Let's be accurate if you're going to be talking about people. The guns were not, he wasn't jogging down the savannah with no 2 guns.
All right, Paul.
The guns in the car, he tried to do something in the car, and the gun went off and shot him in the foot.
And the gun fall. One up in the chamber, and the gun fall, and it just go off just so, right? But
yep.
It happens.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Steve, it doesn't happen. Right?
You're asking me, you're telling me.
I'm telling you, it doesn't happen.
Well, your information is wrong.
All right, Steve.
Thank you.
Good morning. Guns in police station went off accidentally to unshot officers and things. Those things happen.
Yeah. Good morning, caller.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
I think the independent senator mentioned it. The lack of confidence in the police service, making us more emotional and scared. But this is my situation. None of the politicians are saying to us how they're going to try to improve that. And I think talking about FULs is a populist, emotional pandering to the scared in us. Because if you're not telling me that you will, I will give you FULs, but you're not telling me the other equation of how you're going to make the police, or I could be corrected, maybe she did say it and I didn't hear, and how you're going to upgrade productivity within the police service, they've been missing part of the equation.
Very good point. A very good point.
Nail on the head there, Dean.
And I think, because not all of us could afford a FUL. FULs are expensive, not cheap.
Well, not all of us will qualify for an FUL.
Yeah, so and I think those things is an eye-opener, and when you're just going down this stand your ground, it's just very populist, and I think the extreme thing, to me, it kind of Trumpian, and, that kind of conservative, the rhetoric that certain leadership groups use to get people to their side. And scaremongering is one of those good ingredients.
Yep.
But tell me how you're going to get the police to respond when I pick up my phone and I call. Because when they broke in the house, you go to Tunapuna, and commissioners have said that over and over, that you can go to any police station and report a crime, no matter where it happens.
Yeah.
But we went to Tunapuna, and they tell me you have to go to Crep, and this is
happens all the time.
Has not gone to the police station.
That foolishness continues. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, it's bogus in reality to citizens. They say it.
I tell all this scrappy police service. How many years now I telling all that? Scrap the police service and start over. I told you all that. Scrap it and start it over. Scrap it. 99% of them ain't no good. Scrap it.
You have an emotional trigger to police. So I don't think we take your advice at all. You're not,
I confess.
Your commentary is not without undue influence. You have been badly affected in some quarters.
It's pure. It's hard, but it's pure.
And that blue and gray has really traumatized you in some way, form, or fashion. Between the one that pulled you over on the bus through the hour of the morning and the other one,
oh,
I feel
gosh,
you.
That ridiculous one that morning. I will never forget him. I
don't know which trauma inflicted you deeply more. Whether it was the one that had the bathroom door open or the bus route one.
I don't have a door. I have a door.
But what you're looking at Miss 04, which started Wendell's story.
We traumatized.
Miss 04. And thank you for the hundreds of people that came out to Central Bank Auditorium over the last weekend, Saturday and Sunday, to see the play. Of course, we now move on to Cipriani College this weekend, and the box office at Cipriani College opens today. And of course, it opens from 12 noon to 6 p.m. daily, straight through to the weekend. And of course, all of the usual outlets have tickets, whether it be Electronics in Arima, Pet Bottler in Curep, Rumbox in St. James, Key Square Fashions in West Mall, for those of you in Western Trinidad, Fens of Marabella in Piaco Plaza, for those of you in the Trin City area, Jabili Rawe in Tunapuna, and Tony's Florals in Val Park Shopping Plaza. All Champlain Auto Services, all of those places have tickets. And of course, the show is now at Cipriani College for this weekend, Saturday at 8:30 p.m. and Sunday at 6:30 p.m. The ad is on the front page of the Express today, so you can
front page, is it?
Richard.
Yeah, on the front page.
Just a quick idea, and you can thank me for this at some point in time, maybe with a free ticket. Don't put dates on your ticket. Leave it as a box that you could write in the date, so you could always reuse a ticket that you don't sell. You understand? Just put a white box and put in the date. Write in the date when you're doing your tickets. Don't print the date, because you can't reuse those tickets.
I'll pass it on to the production team, because that's not under my sphere of business.
You're very much welcome, and I know the production team is listening.
You have a wonderful day. Be safe, and remember to.
Folks, have a wonderful day yourself. Remember to let go and let God. See, if you all want to watch some good cricket, come in Queen's Park Oval tonight. You'll see yours truly play.
Or the middle-aged cricket team league is back on. Middle-aged cricket team league, MACPL.
It starts.
Cricket league for top members.
Bye,
top
guys.
members cricket league.
If I'm in the area, I bypass.
Yeah,
all right. Have a fantastic day, people. Do whatever you need to do, and remember to smile and laugh. It's good.